On this episode of Missouri Motors, we're going to be working on my 2008 Chevy Impala. Welcome to the very first episode of Missouri Motors. My name is Bradley, and you might be wondering what is wrong with my Impala, or maybe not. As of recently, I recently had some air vent issues with the car. And you may be asking yourself, well, what is the problem? Well, on a Chevy Impala, there are actuators that move the vents. They open and close them. Well, the one actuator went out and it needs to be replaced. And to be honest, it's not just the Chevy Impala that has actuators. Just about every car on the road today has these actuators. What they do is they open and close the blend doors to allow the air to come through the vents. So in this little box that I have here on the workbench that's a complete disarray right now, I have the new replacement actuator that we are going to be replacing. And you might be wondering how I determined that the actuator went bad. Well, on this car, whenever the actuator goes bad, it makes a horrendous knocking noise. And so because of that noise, I came to the conclusion that this is going to have to be replaced. And another thing about these things too is you might be able to see, I don't know for sure because I don't have a very good camera. There is a little notch in here. Now, when these things spin, and I'm not going to try to twist it because I don't want to break it, it's brand new. Whenever these things spin right here, they open and close the blend doors, otherwise known as the dampers, inside your dash. And the way these work is that there's no switches inside here that determine if it's open or closed. As you can see right here, there's the electric motor inside here, and then there's a bunch of gears you really can't see. It just moves it back and forth, and the thing is, though, there's no switch to actually determine where it's positioned at. Instead, it just takes a heavy load and just stops it there. Well, if the gears are going bad, then that's what causes that knocking noise, the bad gears. And it just keeps going and going and going. As a matter of fact, that car will continue doing that for about 2 minutes before it actually stops. So now it is time to replace this. But before I replace this, I'm going to pull my car all the way into the garage because it is the month of March and I live in Missouri and it is cold outside. Actually, you know what? I think I'm going to try to push it into the garage because I really don't want to start it up just to move it. What do you say, 3 feet? Okay, maybe 5 feet. Let me get the key in so I can put it in neutral. You probably hear that clicking noise from there because it's pretty loud. Okay. If any of you are wondering, yes, the car was rolling backwards. I have a slight hill right outside the garage, so I should have saw that coming, but my ignorance told me that it'd be perfectly fine. So now I'm sitting on the passenger side of the car, which now I have to get to the blend door, which is behind this glove box right here. As you can see, I lower it down, and I will show you how to get this out. As you can see in the glove box, this top part right here, to get this out, you just push down, which I can't do with one hand. I gotta do it with 2 hands. You just got to get up on that piece of plastic right here, push down, get past the tabs, because there are a couple of tabs, and I'll show you that in a minute, and then you just lower it down like that. After the glove box is out of the way, you can access stuff up here, and here's those 2 tabs I was telling you about. You just push down in the middle, it moves those 2 tabs, and you get out, and you get the glove box out. I apologize for the overexposed light, but this is the only light I have, a giant spotlight. I really should get a flashlight. if you look right here, this is the actuator that needs to be replaced. So I'm going to get some tools so we can get to it. So in order to get these 3 bolts out, you're going to need a 6mm ratchet. Now, unfortunately, because of how tight it is in there, I can't hold the camera and get this out at the same time. So unfortunately, I won't be able to record it, but there's just 3 little bolts that hold this in place. Alright, so now I've got the old actuator out, and I know I mentioned that there's 3 bolts holding it in. Well, I was wrong about that. There's actually just 2 holding it in. Even though there's only 2 holding it in, it still took me a long time to get it out because of where it's positioned, and it probably took me, I don't know, 20-30 minutes. I really should have probably kept track of that. But I'm sure for a professional mechanic who's replaced many of these, I'm sure it'd take them about 5 minutes, 10 minutes. Maybe I'm wrong. If you're a professional mechanic out there, let me know how long it takes for you to actually change it, because I feel like I've taken forever. But it is now time to place the new one in, which is probably going to be more of a pain in the butt to put the new one in than it is for me to take the old one out. So one of the first things I'm going to have to do is take this tag off, because I've got one of the holes for the bolts that goes in place. It's just held on with a paper clip, so just bend the paper clip off, and well, I thought I had it bent off enough. Yeah, there you go, bend the paper clip off and good to go. So now it's time to put this one up in here, and unfortunately, because of how it's located, I really can't record by myself. I need someone else to hold it. I guess what I need to really do is invest in a better camera and a miniature tripod. So now that that's actually fixed, I am now just going to pop the glove box back into place and put my manual and insurance information back in, and I'm good to go. Although, be honest, I'm not done yet. I wasn't quite so sure because I had a hard time putting my 1/6mm socket onto the bolt. Anyway, for some reason I decided to try a 5mm one, so because of that I accidentally dropped it inside the dash, and because of that I'm going to have to take the bottom of the dash out just so I can get my 5mm socket back. So yeah, I'm going to have a little more fun. But at least you know how to fix this, and I apologize for the fact that I wasn't actually able to record the actual procedure. I am going to have to invest in some miniature tripods and maybe even get a better camera. Let me know how bad the video quality is. This is literally a camera I bought for $3 at Goodwill, so just let me know everything, and if you want to see anything in the future, please let me know. I will try my best to get it, but I can't guarantee anything. I will say this though, I am planning to get a historic vehicle in one of our videos. My dad owns a 1967 Chevy Chevelle. It's a 4-door model, but hey, it's a historic vehicle. Let's give it a try. Anyway, I'm glad this is all fixed now, although I'm going to have to take this apart to get my 5mm socket back, but other than that, I can't complain. To make sure you can keep up with future videos, please subscribe to Missouri Motors YouTube channel. If you have any questions, leave it in the comments below.